We're doubling back up for part two. Doubling back up for part two. I got cut a little short, so I guess I'll play nice. Add a little bit of sugar to the spice, and yeah, I guess I'll play nice. I'll play nice. I'll play nice. I'll play nice. I'll be good. All right. I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll play nice. I guess that was a little too spicy for Instagram. Just to abruptly cut me off like that in the middle of a fucking sentence, but it's okay. I'm sorry. I was too spicy. I was too spicy. It was too much. It was too much. Let me fucking tone it back. Let me tone it back. It just cut off. That's what happened. I was in the middle of a sentence and it just poof. No more, Kashil, you're saying too much. So, yeah, let me tone it back a little bit. I was just a little too spicy. Just a little too spicy. I gotta cool it now. Ooh, slow it down. I gotta cool it now. Cool it now. Slow down. Before I lose control. Yeah, I was making somebody uncomfortable, so yeah, I had to stop it. But well, go on, everybody. Welcome back to part two. We're just gonna continue having this uncomfortable conversation because it needs to happen. Now, if nobody's gonna do it, I will fucking do it. I do not care. I do not care how uncomfortable y'all get right now. These things need to be spoken on. And I don't see no one else talking about it. And there is a lot of things in this spiritual community. There's a lot of things in America, in the world, that are going on and have continuously been happening that we've allowed to happen. And it's not going to happen. We're not bringing this shit into 2025. When April hits, I need you to understand something. When April hits and we go through the spring equinox and the new year happens, man, y'all better be ready. Y'all better be ready. Ready like motherfucking Freddy. Let me go ahead and roll up the ganja, man, because, listen, man, they playing with your boy. I was right in the middle of a motherfucking conversation, man. And what them niggas do, bro, they don't cut a nigga off. They don't cut me off. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen, I'm going to give it to you raw. I'm going to give it to you rough, because I got love for y'all. I genuinely care. I genuinely care. I'm not finna sugarcoat a motherfucking thing about nothing. Ever. Because why would I? Why would I do that? Sugarcoating it don't ever help nobody. Sometimes you need something to strike and affect you. Wagwan! Wagwan, Chris, how y'all doing? Shit, sorry about that, but we back with part two, okay? We back. I feel what you're saying. Alright, player. Now listen, now I'm gonna need y'all to do now. Go ahead, we're gonna have to get some more people up in here. I don't know where they at. I got 95 fuck people online now. This literally pertains to everyone. Everyone. Black to motherfucking Asian. Indigenous to inorganic. Organic to fucking extraterrestrial to non-terrestrial. If you down with this shit, tap in. Feel me with this shit here. Because what I'm saying, what I'm giving to you right now, ain't nobody finna give it to you like this. They gonna run around the topic, they finna sugarcoat it and try to talk nice to you and sound fucking pleasant and appeasable to stroke your ego and tell you everything that you want to hear. And guess what? I don't stroke egos. I don't fucking make egomaniacs. I'm not here to kiss ass. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to raise the fucking frequency. I'm here to raise the vibration. And sometimes I'm going to be a little honest with you. I get a little passionate, a little over passionate. Yes. And it was a little too spicy. So they cut me off. So I'm going to have to calm down. Let me relax. So I can articulate a little bit better. And y'all can really feel what I'm talking about. When I'm saying what I'm saying. Now, I ain't really got the words. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our education system ain't the best. But I'm gonna do the best I can to give you what I got. And I hope the message is heard. I really do. I really do. I really do. Cause understand, I see a lot of hypocrisy. I see a lot of hypocrisy. I see a lot of hypocritical, biased, opinionated bullshit that really isn't teaching anybody anything other than how to continue to be their lower self and feed their lower nature, which is not any part of spiritual enlightenment. And if I don't see any of that, you know what I see? A whole bunch of your human responsibilities. And yes, having a human experience, we have responsibilities. We have certain duties that are important. Yes. But do not confuse your human responsibilities with spiritual enlightenment. Please. I gotta talk on a lot of shit right now. Because I see a lot of snake oil salesmen. I see a lot of spiritual materialism, sensationalism, a lot of religious mindsets trying to make spirituality a fucking cult or a goddamn church. Listen, I done told you before, I really don't give a fuck. Either you gonna like me or you gonna hate me. Either way, listen, it ain't gonna make me shit, player. What you eat ain't gonna make me shit, player. At the end of the day, it's not gonna affect me personally. Why? Because I have genuinely detached from this realm. I don't think people understand. You see, the only thing keeping me in this realm, keeping me attached to this realm, are my two daughters and my wife. My sister and her children, my brother and his children. I am really, really detached from this motherfucking system. Like, when I tell you I have been waiting a very long time for this, while everybody's panicking and scared, I don't think y'all understand how happy I am. I'm so excited. I've been waiting a really long time for this collapse. Y'all don't get it. Like, why you think my skin is glowing? This is a great time for me. This is really fantastic. I've been waiting so long for this because I hate it here. I fucking hate it here so much. I can't stand people. You wanna know why I can't stand people? Because they're stupid and they don't think. And instead of trying to understand, they bash and fear. And when a whole bunch of people get together that are scared, people get hurt. Innocent people get hurt that don't deserve to get hurt because of another person's fear or lack of understanding, which has been the sad story of a lot of our people for thousands of years. Malachi, wagwan, pimp. Ooh, ooh, Tamu. That shit catchy, ain't it? Ooh, ooh, Tamu. Ooh, ooh, Tamu. I know I ain't the only motherfucker who be singing that shit. Ooh, ooh, Tamu. Ooh, ooh, Tamu. That's it, yeah. can't go out like Paul Castellano. We can't go out like the ones they've taken out before us, okay? Yeah, the eyes are shining right now. And I'm on the Android. I look way better in person. Understand something. Angel numbers are on the clock for a fucking reason. What's going on right now? They're ramping up the distractions. There are souls that have been hungry for hundreds of years. There are gods who thought they were human. There is fucking extraterrestrials out there living in technology. Do y'all have any idea what time we're fucking living in? You got gods thinking they're human, living like humans, thinking like humans. You got spirits walking, roaming the earth, jumping in and out of people, making them do crazy shit. You have test tube babies and Cabbage Patch Kids, or inorganic people who are actually grown, roaming the earth, fucking with the living. And y'all really think I give a fuck about what someone was saying about me? Y'all must not know what type of person I am. Listen, I got that bald head general in me. A lot of people gonna tap out these next coming months. You're gonna see a lot of people offering themselves, tapping out, because they just can't seem to fathom what the fuck is going on. Oh man, that rabbit hole of Cabbage Patch Kids will fuck with your mind. I promise you that. Nah, you wanna know what really fuck with your mind? Really fuck with your mind? Look into the Demiurge and the Archons. Like I keep telling the majority of my people. You see, the God of this earth hates you. The God of this earth feeds off of you. He feeds off of your emotions. He feeds off of your love. He feeds off of your hate. He feeds off of your desires of the flesh. He feeds off of your lust. He feeds off of your lower self. He feeds off of your higher self. Every fucking thing that is a part of this material world. The fame, the money, the drugs, the pussy, the cars, the houses, the land. It's all to feed the beast. It's all to feed your lower self. Now, people want you to think it's the devil. People want you to think that the only way that you are saved is through fucking Jesus or through Sky Daddy. Meanwhile, the power is inside of you. It's always been inside of you. And our ancient ancestors, particularly a priesthood of ancient Egypt known as the Cathars, or the sacred Gnostics, wrote about these things and told the people about these things. And you know why you didn't hear about it? You know why the church didn't talk about the ancient Gnostic texts and the Gnostic scriptures? Because they were called heathens, and they were referred to our ancestors as what I like to call heretics and heathens. And they buried our history. Not before they slaughtered them. And if it wasn't for two miners looking for a cave, the Nag Hammadi Gnostic text would have never been discovered. It would have been lost forever. And in these Gnostic texts, there's several stories to point a different point of view than the one that has been told previously to you. A point of view where the angels were actually the enemies. Where Lilith was the first woman who was punished because she would not bow down to a being lesser than her. Where the serpent freed Adam. and was not evil. There's a story called the Apocalypse of John. There's a book of Thomas, and also on the origins of the world, where they tell you our sacred ancestors wrote these texts, these sacred texts, and left them for us. And these evil motherfuckers tried to erase that shit. Not before they called them heathens. I'm not gonna let that shit go. I'm not letting that shit go. You see, when we were slaves, all of us have been enslaved. Every skin color has been enslaved. So, get that out of your head that it just happened to fucking black people. Understand, everyone has been enslaved. You know who the first slaves were? White women. This season, Slovakian white women. Slovakian white women were the first slaves. And you want to know the sad part about it all? They were actually happier as slaves for the Moors and the Sufis because they were treated better than their European husbands were treating them. Now how the fuck is that for irony? You see, y'all got shit all twisted. Exactly. Look at me. I have Egyptian lineage. Egyptians were slave masters, but also Egyptians were enslaved by Sumerians and Kushites. They don't want to tell you that part. What if I told you ancient Kemet was actually a baby civilization? And Isis actually came from the early Ethiopian and the Kushite Empire. A lot of the pre-dynastic gods and kings that are depicted in early Egypt were actually Kushite and Ethiopian. And they were enslaved by the Kushites and the Ethiopians. And the later day Akkadians, who were actually the descendants of the ancient Sumerians. We all had slaves, and we all have been enslaved. They only tell you part of the story, because if they told you the whole fucking story, you'd understand why it's so hard for them to control us. Kemet was created after the fall of the great Atlantis and Lemuria. Now, who invaded Lemuria? Who started talking to the Lemurians and got the Lemurians to want to bring some shit back to Atlantis, which was actually an unstable Merkaba that caused a great war, and that bitch sank, just like Lemuria sank. And these red beings, these red-skinned people, went right back into the earth. Meanwhile, there's still a rivalry in the water for some shit that was a miscommunication. Same reason why there's a rivalry on land for some shit that was a miscommunication. Listen, you really, really, really want to dive deep into the stories that they've been telling you. You really want to dig a little deeper into the stories they've been telling you. Because if the Bible was so fucking important, why would they beat you for 6 days and justify each beating with a Bible scripture just to give you a beer, a fucking free meal, and a day off on Sunday so you could go to church and further the indoctrination? I'll wait. If God and Jesus is your fucking friend and your enemy, why was they beating our ancestors and raping our ancestors and stealing from our ancestors and bombing our ancestors and destroying certain things like, the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing and what happened to Black Wall Street? Yeah, why was they doing all of that shit and justifying it with religious texts and religious scriptures? Just to give you a day off on Sunday. And to this day, niggas still drink beer on Sunday, huh? Y'all just love that malt liquor and gold teeth, don't you? Just love obeying Mr. Paleface. Meanwhile, Paleface ain't even the fucking enemy. Paleface ain't even the fucking enemy. You know who your real fucking enemy is? You. It's a clone of Gnostic texts. It's watered down. It's watered down Gnostic scriptures where they decided to gather around a fucking table and call it a council meeting of the Council of Nicaea, where they decided to pick and choose what was going to be included in the fucking Bible. But y'all niggas still go ahead and fight them wars over Jesus. Y'all still go ahead and fight people and argue with family members and so-called loved ones and friends over the fucking invisible enemy that was created for you to justify the hate crimes, to justify the punishment, to justify the fucking hangings, to justify the segregation. Go ahead and keep on praising your slave master and wonder why the cycle is continuing. This is what I mean about niggas and nigga shit. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. Jesus is Greek and Latin translation that says Jesus, which is who is the Greeks worshipped. Exactly. And even Zeus goes further back than that. Zeus is Mithras. Zeus is Horus. Horus is Apophis. Apophis is Dionysus. Dionysus is Shiva, and there is John the Baptist, and John the Baptist is Jesus. They were all born on December 25th. They were all born on December 25th. Every single last one of them. Do you have any idea how many crucified saviors the world had before Jesus was even thought of? Before the letter J was even invented? Over 37. I'll tell you that much. Meanwhile, they don't want to tell you about how ancient Greece was actually the first biracial civilization, and how the Athenians were the first nation of interracial, biracial people, which is why they had to go to war with the other Greeks. And guess what? Athens to this day is in fucking ruins. Meanwhile, if you look at your present day Greek, the majority of them look like a fucking mixed breed, don't they? They look like they got a white mama and a black daddy. A black and a white, it don't matter. That's exactly what they look like. They keep rehashing the same shit, recycling the same story. Meanwhile, they make it about skin color, so we fight amongst each other. It's called divide and conquer. Divide the people and conquer over them. Same shit they did with Biden and Trump. Divide and conquer. Same shit they did with COVID. Divide and conquer. You see, what I'm seeing right now in the conscious community is a whole bunch of division and a whole bunch of indoctrination and not enough free thinking, not enough fundamental building, not enough teaching. I see a whole lot of preaching, but not enough teaching. I see a whole lot of knowledge, but not enough application. If there was application of the knowledge, we wouldn't be in this fucking situation, now would we? If we all understood the meaning of unity consciousness, you and I, consciousness, and come together as one, instead of fucking bickering and fighting over who's right and who's saying what, and understand we have a common enemy, and there's more of us than there is them, and that all we have to do is strategize a plan and work together, and we could stop this shit. A lot of fucking things would stop. But no, we want to be the smartest nigga in the room. I want all the money. I want all the power. I want all the bitches. I want all the fame. Let me ask you a question. Why is it okay for a man to have fucking 12 wives, but it's not okay for a wife to have 12 husbands? Why is it okay for a man to be a hoe, but it's not okay for a woman to be? So as a man, it's okay for you to not be loyal and to do whatever you want, and have all these women basically be your sex slaves and servants, and cook for you and clean for you, and have relationships with each other and become friends and keep each other company when you don't feel like being bothered and take care of the kids, and all you have to do is bring in money and fuck them. How is that righteous? How was that spiritual? That sounds really, really, really low fucking vibrational to me. Y'all want to be nature boys so bad, huh? Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you saw someone be genuine on camera? When's the last time you saw someone be genuine on camera? To take a stand on something they believe in. And not sway or backpedal. And stand on that shit. Fuck the delivery, fuck the words. When's the last time y'all saw someone be fucking genuine to you? Be honest. I'll wait. You supposed to hold women at a higher petty. Yeah. They trying to destroy the matriarchy. Patriarchal forces at work. That's what that is. Facts. The Most High is a feminine energy. So here we are trying to pimp out and undermine the feminine energy. Demonizing Lilith. Demonizing Ninel. Demonizing Ingershkel. Demonizing fucking Isis, Astarte, Ayana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna, the divine goddess, Santa Muerte, Oya, Oshun, Yemaya, Mamiwata, Lasarin. The list goes on. Pravarati, Lakshmi, Mahakali, Durga. The list goes on. Kuan Yin, Torah, Spider-Woman, Amaterasu. The fuck out of here. Y'all want to be pimps so bad. Y'all want to keep the woman down so bad. And all you want to use women for is sex. There's no love. Because if that's the case, why are all the majority of these men who call themselves spiritual leaders following a whole bunch of women with their titties out? Why are all these women still falling for the succubus trap? If you're so above it, if you're so righteous, if you're so holy, fighting over who said what and who's right. Y'all niggas, put that shit to bed. Go on, man, take your ass to the store with that or something. You know what I'm saying? You see, we're supposed to safeguard the helpless. We're supposed to defend our women. We're supposed to protect our women. We're supposed to be there for them. You see, I don't see none of that happening. I watch these young niggas beating them and drugging them. I hear it all in the music. I see it all on TV. I see it on social media. Like, it's normalized to the point to where no wonder young women are so fucking toxic. No wonder young women want to be players. Shit, if I was a woman, I wouldn't fuck with y'all niggas either. I'm gonna be completely honest. Because it seems to me like the so-called spiritual men are the worst. They don't want a wife. They don't want a partner. They want a fucking slave. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait. I can only think of two people. You and Corey Walker, the Alchemist Warrior. The woman wants us to lead the reason. Exactly. Reason why they want a voice, so us to get our shit in order. That's why they speak on Osiris and male leaders, because that's our job. But we're not supposed to lead. We were never supposed to lead. The woman... Man, this fucking world is backwards and upside down. We wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for women. There is a book I want all of y'all to read called The Great Cosmic Mother. Read that book. Amaterasu, Order, and Coach Reg B. Anyway, they can cut us off, but they just trying to cut us off. A big mama, it's not gonna work. That's what masculized women today. All praise to the Divine Mother, all praise to the soul. I love that book. You see, that book will straight up tell you that everything in creation is female first. And in fact, the only reason why males exist is because, in a nutshell, their uterus dropped. Their uterus fell. Basically, in the nigga version, in the nigga summary, your pussy fell out. And since your pussy fell out, you have a dick. You have a phallus. But technically, for the first 5 to fucking 6 months, all of us are born female. Even plants. Even plants. You see, because the crazy part is, you exist as part of your mother the minute she has her first period. And that goes way back to great-grandmama, and great-grandmama, and great-grandmama, and great-grandmama, and great-grandmama. As a male, we carry the seed. We have a whole bunch of water spirits inside of our nutsack floating around. And what ends up happening out of that, it gets molded in the woman. That water spirit, that sperm cell, hits the egg, hits that light source, and it becomes life. That can only happen inside of the womb. And womb also means matrix in Hebrew. Ma, matrix. Ma, matriarch. Ma, mother. Ma, at. Even man has ma in it, because we come from them. That's why the matriarch's thriving, bro. I was just reading that. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Add me real quick, fam. If you want to. Listen. We gotta have an uncomfortable conversation. A lot of time, we got a lot of bullshit that needs to be discussed. You see, between Dr. Phil Valentine, Dilbert Blair, Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, Vicky Dillard, Dr. Africa, there's been so much information. Shit, Zachariah Sitchin, David Icke, William Cooper, Manly P. Hall. You see, what's your point of view on Typhoon in Greek myth? Because that being has always caught my eye, and does it relate to other cultures? To my understanding, Typhoon is Apophis. Typhoon is the Great Mother. Typhoon is Set. Typhoon is like Tiamat. To my understanding, we are the Titans sleeping in Tartarus. David Icke. You see, a lot of people see a white face and be like, nah, a white man wrote it, I don't want to read it. Nah, a white man's talking, I don't want to listen. Not realizing it's all our story. It's always been everybody's story. All you gotta do is pay attention. If something as simple as fucking skin color bothers you, if a female speaker bothers you, if a woman in power bothers you, you're not vibrating high enough, because from the goddess we come to the goddess we all must return. From the goddess we come to the goddess we all must return. You cannot escape what is coming. And I see a lot of people still not ready for that. Even women. Even, I hate to say it, just because the Divine Mother's here doesn't mean that a lot of women are finna just naturally get a pass. Shit been fucked up for far too long. All them dicks you been sucking, all that sea moss and them crystals ain't gonna save you. All the bitches you been stealing, all the homes and lives you been ruining, young nigga, all them crystals and sage ain't gonna save you. All that spiritual materialism ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta get right with yourself. What's done in the dark will always come to the light, man. My grandmama told me that shit, and I'm witnessing it happening in real time. P. Diddy thought he was untouchable. R. Kelly thought he was untouchable. Motherfucking Trey Songz thought he was untouchable. Marilyn Manson thought he was untouchable, huh? All these people that we put in positions of power, oh, they're just so sweet. Oh, he's just so good at basketball. Let's make him make $30 million a year. Sure, there's starving children in third world countries, but let's just pay this guy $30 billion a year because he's good at basketball. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, sure, he's not saving lives or teaching kids in school or anything. And fun fact, teachers make less money than garbage cash men. So what's really going on? What's really valued in society? Because Everybody want to talk about being conscious, but how the fuck is Ice Spice was one of the, and fucking Sexy Red one of the #1 artists? Someone's not doing their job, because my daughters don't even know these girls exist. I don't know what the fuck y'all been doing. But if you gonna talk that talk, you gotta walk that walk. Listen, I exercise daily. I meditate daily. I eat right all the time. I fast. Man, y'all, listen. I might look a certain way, but I'm out here really actively doing this shit. People come to me for answers and seek advice because my knowledge is that powerful. The results work the way they work, just like that. That ain't happening by coincidence, and I don't think I am special. Ain't nothing I do that none of y'all can do it. Y'all can do this shit too. All you gotta do is tap into yourself and stop resisting and let the mother grab you and bless you with what she anointed with you in the first fucking place. It's yours. All you gotta do is walk through the door. You gotta stop resisting. You gotta stop fighting. You gotta stop fighting the funk, nigga. You gotta face that shit. You gotta deal with it. You gotta confront it. Confront your fucking monster. Confront your fucking demon. Make friends with it. Because you're gonna need it when the war is on. I'm telling you, you're gonna need that shadow when the war is on. All this love and light shit, trying to be politically correct to appease people's feelings and shit. Understand something. What the fuck are feelings in war? What the fuck is an emotion in the middle of a goddamn psychological spiritual war? Tell me what that is, pimp. I'll wait. I'll wait for what fucking emotion matters when we are at war. Read the Trap. Trey Songz snitched on himself in a whole album. No one picked up. That bud, by the way. Oh, the bud I'm smoking on is actually called Forbidden Jelly. It's called Forbidden Jelly. What going on? Young T Money. Let me go ahead and get the ganja right, pimp. Now understand something. I don't give a fuck about this fake ass holiday. My new year ain't until the fucking equinox. Okay? Listen, I'm not a religious person. If you are, that's cool. I'm not finna knock you. You know what my Bible is? The 7 Hermetic Principles and the 12 Universal Laws. I live by that shit. I embody that shit. I practice this shit fucking daily. Okay? That's my fucking Bible. I don't have a fucking Bible. I don't rely on anything outside of myself. I let go and let be, and simply what is meant for me will be, and what is not will not, because it does not serve me on my path. When you stop resisting, that is easy for someone to understand. But the more you resist, these things will show up in your fucking life. You gotta let go. And I know it's hard to unpeel some of them parts of the onion. Man, go ahead and smoke. Listen. The Rastafari uses ganja as a sacrament so that they can connect to the Most High. In ancient India, practitioners and devotees of Shiva drink a concentrated brew made out of cannabis and hashish called bang. If you look closely at certain depictions of Shiva and Krishna, they're holding a cannabis leaf. Anything is bad for you with overindulgence. The key is moderation. I don't just smoke weed. I smoke weed, I smoke tobacco. Mixed with weed, I smoke herbs, I smoke mugwort, cloves, I smoke chaparral sometimes, I smoke damiana from time to time. I brew this shit in my tea as well. You have to understand, sometimes you gotta do what works for you. What works for you might not work for another person. That's why I don't compare my journey to another man's. That's their journey. Shit, Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmett taught me a lot of shit, but they went through a journey to uncover that information. I'm going through my journey uncovering my information, and sometimes our information coincide with one another, but they had a path. That was their experience. This is my experience. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say, and smoking. You damn right. Hell yeah, I'm finna roll up right motherfucking now. Shit. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Listen, spirituality does not have a look. Spirituality does not have a shape or a goddamn form. You cannot think your way into or think your way out of enlightenment or spirituality. It's not a conscious thing. It's an unconscious and subconscious thing. It's a transformation. It's a journey of self-discovery. Constantly discovering and relearning yourself. Not constantly relearning and discovering the world, the nation, your family, yourself. It is a journey of self-discovery. Self-discovery. Nigga, it's you. And when you doing your work and you focusing on I, you start to recognize the I in I. It's no longer I against I. I see a lot of I against I. When I'm your friend, I'm your brother, I'm the messenger. We're supposed to reach and teach one another. Iron sharpens iron. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a nation to build a tribe. But I don't see no nation around me. I see some fake goofy niggas calling me family, but the vision's all cloudy. It's a damn shame. Third eye's weak, covered like sheep. Grown man don't know how to behave. Grown man still don't know how to behave. Betraying and slaying the so-called loved ones for fame. What a goddamn shame. Now, I'm just talking. I'm not trying to rhyme. It just came out that way. That happens to me from time to time. I don't know why. Sometimes when I talk, it rhymes. It just fucking happens. My culture is Mexican. Just took back from Dolichican. And I feel so lost, to be honest, because my history is so lost and manipulated. My family sees Catholics saving my people. I see them destroying us. Yeah, that's because before it was Catholicism. You have to understand. The whole Catholic religion is basically brujeria and santeria. It's an indigenous art form. You see, that's why you have the saints, you have the santos. But the santos are actually the orisha. They're the ori, they're the simbi, they're the loa. That's why you have the 7-day candles and there's the pictures of the saints. But it's the name of the orisha underneath it. You see, during the Roman Catholic Crusades, what ended up happening was a lot of people dying. A whole fucking state, Constantinople, was destroyed. And you either had to get down or lay down, in a nutshell. Anybody who wasn't practicing Catholicism, it was punishable by death. In fact, the only thing that wasn't punishable by death was being a Catholic or a devil worshipper, because even being a heretic was better. So, naturally, some of our indigenous ancestors hid our workings in things like Ifa and Voodoo and Hoodoo and Santeria and Palo Manombe and Palo Mante. We hid these sacred indigenous practices into things like Baptist Christianity and Spanish Catholicism. That's why I tell people the Bible could be used as a spell book. Our ancestors made sure to have things. You see, mythology is true, but it's told in a fictional way. Only the true adept, the true studier, could decipher the truth from the mythological stories. Over time, these fables and folk tales and urban legends lost their true meaning. But there's a reason why every voodoo lady has rosaries and a Bible in her house, and it's not because she's a Catholic or a Christian. The saddest thing is they would just pass by Saint Benito like he didn't matter while raising flowers to others for Jesus. A lot of Freemasons say to become one, they had to get back into Catholic Church. Yeah, I always loved that shit since I was young. It's you. It's your indigenous roots watered down. It's your indigenous roots watered down to serve their God. But if you remember who you are, if you have knowledge of self, you won't be rocked to sleep. You can still use these practices, my nigga. Voodoo is the world's oldest living religion. If you do not believe me, look it up. Voodoo would not be still a living religion. It would be a dead religion, like a lot of the other ones that have been lost over time if it did not work. Voodoo, hoodoo, and Ifa are not the same. The systems are very similar, but it's not the same. They demonized that shit and told you to stay away from that shit and worship their gods and their saints, just like the Catholics did when they were killing people. This is why Baphomet, the savior of Muhammad, became Baphomet. They had to demonize it to scare people. Then the Knights Templar and Eliphas Levi and Madame Blavatsky got a hold of the symbol of the black goat head and comprised and combined it with Moloch, and now you have the Baphomet of today. But the original symbol of the black goat head, was the symbol of the completed man, the symbol of the melanated man. It was a symbol of the coal man. It was the symbol of the Most High's begotten children. And what ended up happening was it got demonized and botched by the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, and which later day became the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and the progeny are the Sons of Jove. These are secret societies that run the world. They use our shit in secret and tell us it's evil, so we use the systems that they set up for us. Meanwhile, you're afraid of who the fuck you are. Yeah. Every time I'm going to give it to you raw. I'm going to give it to you real. Anytime you see a knight with a red cross on their shield, holding a shield with a red cross, that's the Maltese cross. That cross is an ancient indigenous symbol that represents the earth, air, water, fire, northeast, southwest, and the middle point. I explained the Maltese cross, but I'll explain the Maltese cross again if I need to. They stole that symbol just as well. So anytime you see that red cross, that came from the Rosicrucians. Now, the father of metaphysics, where I get a lot of my metaphysical spiritual information from, was a guy named H.P. Pascal Beverly Rudolph, P.B. Rudolph. Now, P.B. Rudolph was a black man who lived in the early 1800s, who did and conducted a whole bunch of science and a whole bunch of studies on the paranormal and metaphysics that still live on today. No one would know the science of sex or the science of love, the science of the soul, how to connect to spirits, how to even communicate with spirits, if it was not for Pascal Beverly Randolph. Okay? With that being said, Pascal Beverly Randolph was actually one of the first members and one of the founding members of the Rosicrucians. The Rosicrucians later day became the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar was not always what they are today. They used to be a righteous group of people. Now they are Freemasons. And let me tell you something about them Freemasons. There's 3 lodges. There's the York Rite, and there's the Scottish Rite, and then you have the Prince Hall. The Prince Hall, the Black Masons. The Scottish Rite are the Masons who wear red. The York Rite are the Masons who wear blue. Okay? They do not like each other. None of them consider each other real Masons. Then you have a female group called the Eastern Stars. They're also connected to the Freemasons. Any fraternity involved with the Divine Nine when you go to college, they're in sub-Masonic groups. The Skull and Bones Society that really runs politics is actually another secret society or a sub-branch of the Freemasons. Just because you're a Mason doesn't necessarily mean you know a lot or you're up there. There's a lot of different types of Masonry, okay? And around 1772 and through 1776, the Bilderbergs, the Illuminati, and the Sons of Jove, the progeny of Jove, were founded and created. These 3 Secret societies are the OGs of what you see today, other than the secret society of the Golden Dawn, where Aleister Crowley and Samuel Mathers come from. But that's on a whole nother topic. A lot of these secret societies run and operate off of bloodlines. It's a family thing. For example, although I am not in a secret society, I come from a Masonic bloodline. I come from a Templar bloodline. I come from a Voodoo bloodline. Understand, anytime you're looking at a Voodoo Veve or a sigil for some of the Ori, like for instance, a Baran Samedi, Baran Symmetry, Baran Lequar, you're looking at Papa Jide, if you're ever looking at Papa Legba, if you're ever looking at Alamandore or Dambila Wedu, Aida Wedu, you're going to see a lot of Masonic symbolism, the square and compass, because why? That's where they got it from. They got it from Africa. They got it from Voodoo. Shango, Obatala, Ogun, Dambila Wedu, Baba Luaye. They are energetic signatures that exist inside of you, not just outside of you. Everyone has their own personal Ori in them. Everyone has their own God particle, their own God cell, their own goddess in them. All you have to do is interact with it, interface with it, communicate with it. Well, if you don't use it, you lose it. They have that saying for a reason. It's not that you'll lose your gifts, but it goes dormant. It's a little harder to wake up. This is what they talk about when they talk about your junk DNA. It's never been junk DNA. Wagwan, wagwan. When you're talking about your junk DNA, you have to understand everything inside of your body is connected to water. And it makes up your organs. It runs through your organs. It makes up your cells. And this water is all connected, but it also holds memory, and it remembers everything. So the genealogy of your cellular makeup from your ancestors, the water was in them, and it passed through them to make them their parents, and then their parents to lead up to you. And all of that cellular memory is still stored inside of your DNA. It just lays dormant. You just have to wake it up. It's inside of you. Your ancestors are not outside of you. Your ancestors walk with you every day because their memories and their traditions and their secrets and their knowledge are literally stored in your cells. The gods walk in you every day. You see, there's a sacred passage. I forget what Bible verse it is, but the gods are petitioning the angels. You see, they're asking the angels, where is God? Where is God? We need to speak to God. And the angel's response to the people on earth is, the God you seek in heaven lives on earth. One of the sacred Gnostic teachings is that the Messiah is not one person. The Messiah is everybody. We all have the power to be the Messiah. It's by activating your inner Christos, your inner Christo oil inside of you. By igniting the crystal oil, the Christos, you become the Messiah. There isn't one Christ. Christ can be a man, Christ can be a woman, Christ can be a child. You are the Horus. You are that sleeping giant lying in Tartarus waiting to be revived, waiting to be awoken again. You have to tap into these things to awaken them. Is there a reason why I've always felt drawn to Apollo? Apollo is another form of Horus. Apollo is another form of Apollo's the feminine aspect of the savior, the feminine aspect of the hero who goes through the fool's journey. And we have 72 portions of our left brain, 72 portions of our right brain. Our left brain is feminine, our right brain is masculine. This is the sun, this is the moon. This is why Set and Egypt had 72 conspirators, 72 helpers to help him kill Osiris. And it was who? It was Isis. It was Isis and her twin sister, Nephthys, who revived Osiris with the acacia tree and the clay of the sands of Kemet to bring him back and to mold him back to life using the serpent to remold his phallus, which is why he has the green skin, and they call him the god of the garden, because they quite literally used the garden and a tree to rebuild him. It's all symbolic of the 72 portions of your left and the 72 portions of your right. Just because you're a man does not mean you do not have feminine aspects. Just because you're a woman does not mean you do not have masculine aspects. You have to come into the balance. Do not embody the physical balance. This is why you have people who think androgyny is something bad. They're thinking of it in terms of physical. We are not physical. We are not our body. We are pure energy. We are not man or woman. We can be both. This is how people die and come back on the planet in a different body, a different color, a different gender. Energy does not have shape or form. It's not linear, and the soul is pure concentrated energy. So what makes you think? Understand there's a principle called the law of gender and the 7 hermetic principles that governs all things on the physical realm, not the metaphysical unseen realm. That is a completely different ballpark. So you're feeling like you're connected to Apollo because you might have a higher feminine aspect of yourself you're embodying, and you might need to wake it up. Feminine does not mean like be like a woman. It means be more creative. Men have dynamic energy. It goes from point A to point B. Women have a spiral energy. It flows. And best ways to wake them up are, well, the best ways to wake these things up is honestly to meditate, eat right, do some breath work. If you stumble upon a ritual, practice that shit. If you come across a good book, read it. If there's some exercises in it, don't just read the exercise. Practice the fucking exercise. Do it. Because a little secret a lot of people don't want you to mention, don't want to talk about or mention. When you close your eyes, you're just turning off your projector. Your mind's still on. We don't see with our eyes. We see with our mind. And when your mind makes it real. Your mind doesn't know the difference between you imagining an image, watching a movie on TV, or something really happening. The eyes are just projecting these things. So when you start interacting with the technology inside of you, like speaking without a voice, seeing without your eyes, hearing without your ears, in a meditative state or an altered state of consciousness, you're slipping from your beta brainwaves to your alpha brainwaves or your theta brainwaves. You're intercepting your conscious mind into your unconscious and your subconscious mind. You're directly interacting with your spirit. This is the 4th dimension. How you could just not talk and keep talking in the mind. This is how you develop telepathy. This is how you turn these things on. You have to interact with them. You have to turn them on. You can't just expect them to fucking turn on because of a solar flare. That is bullshit. If that's the case, motherfuckers would have been flying years ago. Christ consciousness, pineal gland, Messiah means messenger in Hebrew. Exactly. Activation. I've always liked Netzah. We all androgynous. Known that since I was young. So you think men who like men are actually women and vice versa? No, see, look, you're looking at it on a human perspective. Stop thinking like a human and start thinking like a god. If a man is dressing like a woman and feels like he's a woman, and even though he's really a man, he might have been a woman in a past life, and that spirit carried on, and it cannot accept the new form. If a woman is born thinking she's a man, feeling like she's a man, and changes herself to be a man, the spirit in that vessel, the energy in that vessel has not come to terms with the fact that that aspect of herself is no longer existent, and she's in a new experience to understand and balance that other side. People who go through this thing, like a lot of people I know who are what they are, They're trying to cut me off. Fuck. They're trying to cut me off.